Thank you for coming. God bless you. What I want to do this morning to start with is I want to talk a little bit about the REV, and thanks to Rob Woods, frankly, he's the technical brain behind the REV, the technical stuff. I mean, Rob worked in computers all his life, and when he retired, now he works on computers. He's absolutely an amazing guy, a tireless workhorse. And I don't think he ever leaves his desk because I call him at all these totally weird times. And he always picks up. It's like, are you at your computer? Yes. it's like, I think he gets up and kind of zombies into his computer and sits there all day and then leaves. I mean, I'm teasing, but it's just amazing how available he is and how helpful he is. But I wanted to talk about some of the innovations that we've done. And the first thing I want to say is the REV is really handy on your phone. And for those of you that use it know that you can go to the website, revisedenglishversion.com, or you can use the app. Now, some things you need to know is the phone, by design, has less capacity than an iPad or a computer. And by the way, I use an iPad because I have an iPad. I meant to bring this thing, but we went on the internet, and Jerry, who's real good on all that stuff, found you can go on the internet and get a tablet, just a tablet size thing, for like $49. Now it's not fancy, and if you're going to play games and shoot down satellites and stuff like that, it has it doesn't have the world's fastest processor, but for word processing it's perfectly fine. So you can I got this iPad used. I just went to a store where they sell used stuff, and I got this used, and it's great. One of the things about using a tablet for word processing is you don't need the latest thing, because word processing is slow. If you're going to be a gamer, then you need the fastest thing. But otherwise, so literally for cheaper than my original leather-bound Cambridge double-wide margin King James Version cost, you can actually buy a tablet. So the lesson is that just due to bandwidth, the phone can do less than a tablet, the tablet can do less than a computer. Same thing with bandwidth. You can put the app on your phone, and a lot of people like the app, but the app has less capacity than the website. So even whether you're going to use your phone, use an iPad, use a tablet, use your computer, you have more capacity if you use the website. So basically, I have 3 search engines. I use the Safari thing because it's an iPhone. I use DuckDuckGo, and I use Chrome. And I use DuckDuckGo and Chrome for everything, but never the REV. And that way, all I have to do is go on my phone and punch in Safari, and it always brings up the REV because that's all I ever do there. So every time I want, now, if you're really more computer smart than I am, then you know how to set up a bookmark. And you can set up a bookmark and just hit your bookmark, and the REV comes up. But since most of us here have phones today, I wanted to show you some things. So if you go to your REV with a phone, I wanted to point out just a couple things about this. And so let's just pick a chapter. Let's just pick Ephesians chapter 1. So I go to Ephesians, and by the way, when you go to Ephesians, it ought to open up with a screen that on the left-hand side it says Bible with an arrow going that way. The right-hand side says an X, and then it has Ephesians. Are we on the same place?
Yes.
If there's a little thing to the right that says verse, you see that?
Yes.
If it's checked, uncheck it. You want the verse unchecked. And the reason is if you have the verse thing checked so that it's blue or green or whatever color yours is, then what it does is it goes to one verse. And almost nobody ever wants to just go to one verse. You want to go to the chapter so you can read. So you can skip an entire step by clicking that little circle, and then you go right to the chapter. Got it? Does that make sense? Okay, so that's good. So now click 1, so you're Ephesians chapter 1, unless you got fat fingers like me, and then you click 2. But anyway, so if you look at Ephesians chapter 1, when it opens up, it'll say the Epistle of Paul to the Ephesians at the top, and then it'll say Ephesians chapter 1. You see that? And after that, there's a little speaker. And if you push the little speaker, now a little box comes up, and it'll read to you.
Paul,
And the first verse of every chapter has a speaker. If you go to Ephesians 1, Ephesians 2, Colossians 1, Revelation 3.
Blessed be the God
Yes. Now, if you click on the right-hand side, there's two little down carrots on the right-hand side of that box, and you get four choices. You can do U.S. male, U.S. female, UK. If you like for example, if you like the UK voice.
to be holy.
To be holy.
He did this in love by deciding in advance that we would be adopted through Jesus Christ for himself, according to the good pleasure of his will, to the praise of his glorious grace, which he graciously gave us in the beloved one. In you.
We're just going to listen to the Bible now.
Oh, I have no. It's AI. It's AI generated. The voices are AI generated. So now, when you go back to that speaker box, you'll notice that I'll turn mine down. But you'll notice that at the lower right, you have a little box with the voice that you're listening to, and you have 4 voice choices. Beside that is this thing that looks like a yin-yang circle. It's got a circle with 2 arrows. Now, when you punch it and it starts to read, it'll read to the end of the chapter and then quit. If you punch the 2 little arrows, it'll read to the end of the Bible. You can go to Genesis chapter 1. If you want to sleep to the Bible, you can go to Genesis chapter 1, punch the 2 arrows, and it'll read all the way to the book of Revelation. And in the morning, you'll know the whole Bible. Yeah. Now, if you notice, then to the left of the 2 little arrows, the yin yang signal thing, is a turtle and a rabbit. Okay, I'm inside the box. Yeah, let's see. No, put your speaker box. Push the speaker guy. Okay, there's your box. There's your voices. You see the turtle and the rabbit?
Turtle and the rabbit. Yes.
Yes, the turtle and the rabbit allow you to speed up or slow down the voice.
Where's it goes all the way to Revelation. Yeah.
Okay, that's the yin-yang sign right here in the middle. That's that 2 arrows in the circle.
Oh, okay.
I call it yin-yang,
Oh,
but
that's gotcha.
it sort of looks, it's not exactly the yin-yang side if you're into Buddhism, but it's close enough.
Now that I clicked it, it will stop at the end of the chapter.
If you don't click it, it'll stop at the end of the chapter. If you click it, it's going to keep reading to the end of the book of Revelation.
Big circle if it's going to read the whole way.
It's just a circle. It's just the circle thing. And if you don't click it at all,
Yeah,
then it'll read to the end of the chapter and quit.
gotcha.
If you click it, then it changes color a little bit, and it'll go to the end of the book of Revelation.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So do you guys see the turtle and the rabbit? Did y'all get that? Speed it up, slow it down? Okay. So this is good stuff to know. So let's go to Ephesians chapter 2 and click on a verse. Any old verse is fine. And now click off the verse and go to Ephesians, some other thing, Ephesians chapter 2, verse 2, or whatever. I just want you to get a couple verses read. Now what I'd like to show you in the upper right-hand corner is this clock with an arrow going backward. Okay, that's your history. So click that, and you'll see all the places that you've been. Now, I use this all the time, especially since I've been here, so my line is just full. I've got this whole giant line of places. But where this is super handy is, let's say you go to a church or a teaching or a fellowship, even like this, and it's one of those teachings where they have an anchor verse, and then they go out and see another verse, and then they come back, and then they go out and see another verse and come back. And instead of having to start over again every time and click at the top and then find the chapter, all you have to do is click the back arrow, and it takes you back to where you have been. So, yeah. So learning that kind of stuff, and then obviously if you go into the hamburger menu, that's what I call it, up at the top left, then there's a lot of possibilities there. You click that, and you can do a search function. You can see the appendices. You can do word studies. There is an REV blog, And that's kept up by Chris Green, and she enters once a week. And so she keeps up with what Jerry, Johnny, and I are translating in the New Testament, what Bill Schlegel and I are translating in the Old Testament. And every week she does a blog and says, this is where the guys have been going, this is what they've been doing, this is what they've been seeing. And so if you want to keep up with what is happening inside CES, it's kind of like, I know they're out there, I know they're translating, I have no idea what they're doing. Then you just click the blog, and poof, you now know what we're doing on a week-to-week basis. Yeah, so anyway, and Chris is very thorough, and if she ever gets lost, she calls us and say, what were you translating?
Jonathan, a question
Yeah.
I had. So, right now, you have your phone. Did you click on the app right now on your phone, or did you go to Safari?
I always go to Safari because I want as much
And there'll
bandwidth.
be a lot more to
The
it.
phone already limits the bandwidth. And so if you go to Safari, you get the most you can get out of a phone. If I were to use my iPad, which I do the same thing on, Safari on my iPad goes to the REV too. But I work in it, so I'm in it every single day. So, but for me, it really works to do that. And so I would recommend going to the actual website regularly. But there are people that they're like married to apps. They're comfortable.
When you say the website, are you saying the revised English
Version.com. RevisedEnglishVersion.com.
Okay, not Spirited Truth.
No, not Spirit and Truth. Now, you can get to the RevisedEnglishVersion.com through the Spirit and Truth website, but then you're giving yourself a step. You're going to one page to get to another web page. You might as well just go to the web page. But, some people, it's just, well, I'm already going to the Spirit and Truth web page to get something else, and so, like, I want to listen to an old teaching or something like that. So as long as I'm there, I'm going to go into the REV too.
Is it rev.com or rev.org?
RevisedEnglishVersion.com. It's the full thing, RevisedEnglishVersion.com.
Oh, not the initials?
No.
No.
Just type, I see, thank you.
Yeah, RevisedEnglishVersion.com, all lowercase, yes.
Once you went there a couple of times, that's all you have to do is
It tracks you.
R, and then it showed up.
Yeah, yeah, that's true too, yeah.
Once you get on a couple of times.
Yeah,
It
it
also
does.
knows what you get for breakfast.
Isn't that the truth? I'll tell you, they're so dang invasive. But anyway, so that's, I don't want to spend the morning on the REV, but I did want to make sure you guys felt comfortable with it. Because if you feel comfortable with it and you start reading it, I'm assuming you know how to get to the commentary. Do you guys know how to get to the commentary? That's easy. Let's just click the verse. So if
All
you,
commentary is translated in Korean, so anybody who knows Korean.
Thank you, Nina.
yeah, amen, thank you.
The verses that have commentary, the number is in red.
Red,
In
yes.
red font rather than black font.
And we are marching toward, I'm getting very close to having commentary on 16,000 verses. And for those of you that remember, there's 32,000 verses in the Bible. So sometime, I'm hoping before Christmas, I will have put a commentary entry on half of the Bible.
So I have a question. How many verses have commentary that don't include look or shofar?
The look is a,
It's sometimes I go, God, I want to see something on this, and then it comes up shofar,
Yeah.
the ram's horn. It's like,
well, and that reminds me, I have a book of verses that we need to write commentary on, and so if you guys, if you have a question that you're really stuck, write and say, could you write commentary on this verse? Because like this morning, I had a verse that I wanted to write commentary on, and because I have my computer with me, which has access to accordance, and I have all these commentaries on it, then I was able to click on a couple of commentaries and very quickly just write a commentary. So some verses, some take some study, like Jerry and Johnny and I right now are stuck on a couple verses in Timothy that we're working on, and so it's like, then we agree that we're going to table it, we're all going to go home, do our own homework, read the commentary, see what next time when we come back. So Monday afternoon, I should be there for Monday afternoon. But anyway, so Monday afternoon we'll attack that.
What do we write to if we have a verse that would like to see a commentary on?
Probably me, I'd be the best one,
Okay.
because I'm the one that has the book.
Okay.
Yeah.
And your email address is
Thank
just
you for
your
asking.
name?
John in fact, at stfi.org is the keys to the kingdom, because we all go by our first name. So Jerry's Jerry at stfi.org. I'm John at stfi.org. Johnny's at Johnny at stfi.org. Gary's Gary at stfi.org, and so forth.
Janet too?
Janet at stfi.org. So anybody that's on staff, their email is their first name at stfi.org. So you can always email through that and get in touch with us. All right, that ends session 1. So